Well, it's been a long time since we last saw classic Mega Man, hasn't it? Hello everyone and welcome to Let's Play Mega Man Legacy Collection 2's incarnation of Mega Man 9. Because this game got released on Steam, I can actually finally do these games for you guys, so let's get right on into it to make sure my options are all looking good and such. It looks nice. Let's get on in.
I'm so sorry. Please forgive me.
It is the year 20XX, and the world breathes a collective sigh of relief now that Mega Man has once again put an end to Dr. Wily's plans for world domination. But then... robots start going wild all over the world. Could this be Dr. Wily? Up to his old tricks? Dr. Light's laboratory. Dr. Light, it's your robots!
You're right. Those are the robots I created. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not my doing. These robots are Dr. Light's creations. This proves he's had evil designs on the world all this time. It's time I turned my efforts to world domination. Why don't you join me, Dr. Wily? I can't join you. I've changed my evil ways. You need to stop this nonsense. I, Dr. Wily, have created my own robots to stop Dr. Light. But only your donations can help me complete them. Once my robots are finished, they will save the world.
We got another call! The phone is ringing off the hook! People keep calling Dr. Light to complain. What should we do? For starters, I'm going to do something about those robots.
Thanks, Mega Man. Be careful out there. You haven't done this in a while.
And thus, formally, hello everyone, and welcome to Let's Play Mega Man 9. Good God, this game is 10 years old this year. So let's not mess around and once this opening jingle ends, and get right on into the main menu. The settings are all what I would expect. The special games, I'll go into what those are eventually. For right now, though, we're just gonna go right into a new game, and these are our 8 Robot Masters this time around. Now, when I first played the game, I actually started with Galaxy Man down there on the bottom left. However, nowadays, I actually can take one of 2 different pathways. I'll either start with who I'm going to start for this LP, Hornetman, or I'll start with the person who's after him in the chain. And since this game was released way after Mega Man and Base, obviously, we actually don't have any bios to go over for the Robot Masters this time around. We're basically back to how it was prior to Mega Man Base was released. And, oh, it's good to be back to classic platforming Mega Man. Though, something you're going to notice right off the bat is that Mega Man's not exactly how he was in Mega Man 8. He's missing his slide and his charge shot. That's because the design mentality for Mega Man in both 9 and 10 was that he himself was to control more like he was in Mega Man 2. Hence the lack of slide and charge. His charge and slide abilities are still in the game through one method or another. I'll talk about that later. But for that, we're back to Mega Man 2, just the fact we actually have the rush abilities. And as you saw, I picked up a bolt there. Bolts are back from Mega Man 7 and 8. However, they're closer to their 7 incarnation in that they're dropped by enemies and are used at the shop. They're not found and set locations as little minor platforming puzzles and the like in order to get unique items. And Hornetman stage, I actually think is the easiest out of the main 8. With one exception, and that's this mini-boss, Hanabiran. This is actually surprisingly busy for my first stage choice. However, there is a brief little exploit you can do with him. If you damage it before it can fire off anything, it'll automatically reset its pattern and retreat into the platforms where it'll sprout up somewhere else. Later on, there is a weapon that can kill this guy really quickly, from the third Robo Master I take down in particular. But for right now, I have to go the long way about with that. The main platforming gimmick with this stage, though, is these little unrolling platforms. The way they work is that when you shoot them, they unravel like that, rather. However, they will ravel back within a short time span, at which point they will actually ravel back farther, making the platform completely unusable. And if you try to jump on the little curl, you will fall off into the spikes, so be careful with that. Also, those scissors are really annoying to dodge, my experience. Now, if you're playing the game for your first time, though, I actually do not recommend going after Hornetman first, because he can actually be a troublesome robot master. If you're going to the game for your first time, I do recommend going to Galaxy Man, as he'll just be your easiest boss and stage combo. Now, I actually didn't play Mega Man 9 at release. I played Mega Man 10 at release, but Mega Man 9 took me until, I believe, a month after Mega Man 10 came out for me to actually play. Didn't mean I didn't get hyped up at the trailers for it. It's just the fact I didn't have any of the systems I could run on at the time. Or it was released on at the time, rather. Because I don't think I got... No, actually, no, I had my Wii by that point, but... Wait, no, did I? I got my Wii with Mario Galaxy at Christmas. I don't think Smash Brothers Brawl was out yet, so that may have been 2007. So yeah, I had this by that point. I just didn't really have a way to access Wii funds myself yet. And there's an extra life. They're nice and easy to get. And nice little detail, they actually give you Dr. Light things there because these are his Robot Masters. Also, we got Speed Medal there. That's an in-game achievement. I'll talk about more of those in a moment. For now, it's time for Hornetman, who is a very simple boss, but is very hard to dodge. He only has 2 attacks. He jumps up and summons 3 bees, and as long as there's a bee on screen, he'll be running back and forth through the screen. The bees move between 3 and 4 times, at which point they will leave, and he'll spawn more of them. Since we only have the Mega Buster, we have to go the long way around fighting him. That means damaging him really slowly with the Mega Buster. However, ultimately, I have enough HP at this point that this fight just becomes Pyrrhic. Hence why he's my usual first choice. I don't really need to worry about dying too much at this point. For a newcomer, though, this guy can be really troublesome, especially because you have to keep your eye on more than one thing moving at you at a time, which can be troublesome to some new players. For future reference's sake, he's weak against Magma Man's weapon. And that's Hornetman stage. The stage itself is easy, though Hornetman himself can be a bit annoying. And for beating Hornetman, we actually get a fairly useful weapon. In fact, I'll say for a fact now, probably a few more times as we go through. Mega Man 9's set of weapons is actually probably one of the most useful in the series. We get Hornet Chaser for beating him, which fires a bee out at a 45-degree angle from you, which doesn't look that useful first. However, it can track onto enemies very well as items. It can pick up items for you, which is actually the main thing I use it for, other than maybe some distant enemies. And here's the save system. That's fine and dandy. Saves your screws and all that. Bolts, rather. Oh no! The police have taken Dr. Light away! Dr. Light would never try to take over the world. This is definitely Wily's doing. Without a doubt. Don't worry. I'll clear Dr. Light's name. Why they couldn't have that cutscene play upon starting the game, I don't know. And with that, we're now going after a bit of a unique thing in the Mega Man series. Our first female Robot Master, Splashwoman. Who, interesting fact, looks a bit like Leviathan from the Mega Man Zero series, obviously. But originally, she wasn't going to be the first female Robot Master. In fact, she was originally, in concept, a Robot Master known as Ocean Man. That's the concept art right there for him on screen. Hornetman instead was going to be the first female Robot Master. I forget if she was called Hornet Woman or Honey Woman. Either way, nice little swap up there. I actually do like Splashwoman's design more than Honey Woman's, though. As her name and the visual suggest, though, Splashwoman stage is our main water level, so we have the usual water physics from Mega Man 2, where we're very floaty. We also have some of our early spike drop sections, which can be at first a bit nerve-wracking. Although to new players, the most annoying thing in this stage might be those Okusutoban enemies, those little mine things, because they track onto you, and dodging them can be a bit annoying. Also, I like that little twist there. What looks to be the very safe way to go is actually the more dangerous way to go in the long run on that dropping section. That's a pretty cool level design thing there. Although, on the whole, I actually think Mega Man 9 probably has some of the best level design in the series. Either way, Splashwoman stage isn't just water physics the level, it does have a unique gimmick of its own that we're going to meet right now. These bubbles. There are two types of them, the small ones and the big ones. The big ones can hold your weight forever until they hit spikes, like this one will eventually. These small ones pop about a second after you land on them, so your goal in this platforming section is to use the big bubbles to transition screens and then use the small bubbles to hop over to the new big bubbles. I actually had a lot of trouble with this when I first played the game, mostly because I guess I just wasn't used to playing water physics for some reason. Again, it might be just due to the fact that when this game came out, while I was used to water physics in Mega Man games through the X series and the other classic games, obviously, and the Zero series, I was just, first off, not as experienced a player, and had a lot of trouble probably seeing it, because, let's see, 2008, I had my glasses by that point, but, oh god, I was 10. No, actually, no, I was 11 when this game got released, technically. And then for the final platforming gimmick of the stage, because there's a couple, we have these platforms that will slide out of the walls in a set pattern, and the amount of water in them indicates how long that platform will last from there on, so you just need to jump on them in the order they come out, and try not to get trapped into any spikes or fall back down to a previous screen. That actually can take some practice, so don't be ashamed if you fall down there, though. And if I recall correctly, we are getting towards the boss. And, of course, since I'm going in weakness order, Splashwoman is weak against the Hornet Chaser, so get that out. Splashwoman as a boss is interesting, in that she is very mobile. She likes to start off the battle by singing her little tune and while swimming up to the top, in which case she will summon, I believe it's 9 fish from the left and right sides of the screen in order to try to attack you. You just need to jump over the first volley, and you should be able to dodge the second and third volleys pretty easily. I got that for not getting hit by a boss, by the way. Otherwise, she likes to fire a few of her tridents down at you, which are pretty fast, and then she'll try to spear you with her actual trident, so try to dodge that pretty well. Overall, not a very hard boss with her weakness. Without it, it can actually be a fairly annoying fight, because you need to try and jump up to her to get to her. For beating her, again, we actually get a fairly useful weapon. We get the Laser Trident, which goes forward at a very fast speed, piercing through enemies, meaning you can destroy multiple enemies with a single use. It can also be used to destroy certain boxes towards endgame. And with that, it's time for us to head after our third robot master, Concreteman, who, fun fact, his level was actually the demo for Mega Man 9 around the time it was released. I don't like that demo choice, though, because a criticism I recall for Mega Man 9, even I myself had this when I first played the game, is that it was very trap-heavy in level design, and I think there are still a good amount of traps in this game compared to some of its predecessors. But this stage, and one other later on, are really the only big offenders of jump traps like this. If you were hasty like I was around the time I first played this game, because, you know, I was younger and inexperienced, this is gonna be your worst nightmare. I don't want to tell you how many game overs I got there when I first played the game. It's pretty sad. Although I have to say, I love his stage theme. In fact, Mega Man 9 on the whole actually has a great soundtrack. I'm not sure if it's actually authentic to what you could do on an NES sound chip, but damn it all, it sounds good to me. And here we have Paozo, the mini-boss for the stage. As you can see, that was pathetic. There's a reason for that. Hello again, Paozo. Now you have a green ball that you like to bounce. The way to dodge the green ball is actually to stay as close to Paozo as you possibly can. And now, hello again, Paozo. This is just the first fight without the ladder and the added threat of bottomless pits. I actually like this section of elephants now. I actually did when I first played the game. Which, mind you, describes my thoughts on the game when I first played it in general, because I actually did not like Mega Man 9 much when it was released. More on that eventually. And there was what I was talking about earlier. The Hornet Chaser can be used to grab items as well as just directly attack monsters, enemies from afar. I actually end up using that quite a bit. And you have a good amount of ammo for it, too. The Laser Trident will actually get some use as well, but that's more towards endgame. Not only due to the boxes it can destroy, but also due to the fact I find a bit more use for it in sections where I have to have it anyway. Before I continue that topic, though, this section has a pretty interesting platforming gimmick in that there's two kinds of blocks above me. The ones that look like they have dents in them are solid. The ones that look like they have blocks extruding out, like the ones I'm just jumping over, are like certain sections in Burner Man stage in Mega Man Base, where you'll fall right through them, so be careful with that. Either way, as I was saying. Mega Man 9, I'm very much like I am in a lot of Mega Man games, where I tend to use the Mega Buster for most of my enemy destruction. The only exceptions to that are usually, sometimes in Mega Man 6 nowadays, the Silver Tomahawk, Metal Blades, Quick Boomerang, Shadow Blades, Pharaoh Shot actually I get some use out of every now and then too. And those platforms are fairly self-explanatory. And now we need to get the Laser Trident out, because Concreteman is weak to it. Concreteman is kind of a weird combination of Guts Man and Stone Man. He likes to open the fight, in my experience, by shooting out his Concrete Shot ability, which you need to mash at the buttons if you get hit by, because otherwise he'll try to ground pound on you. Otherwise, he likes to try and dash into you and ground pound on you in general. Laser Trident, as you can see, is very good, because not only can it pierce through the blocks that he leaves, because you can't shoot through those normally, I believe, with most other weapons at least, but it'll also just pierce right through his defenses. And for beating him, we actually get that very Concrete Shot ability. It's actually a pretty damaging ability, despite looking a bit like it controls, like, Bubble Lead from 2. It can also make blocks that can block certain projectiles, as well as be stood on for extra platforming. But with that, I'm going to need to end this off here. Thank you guys for watching, and in part 2, we'll be going after some more Robot Masters, and hopefully finding out some more about what's going on with this current robot outbreak. See you guys then.